This is the RKTV Sport News. Catch all form.
Welcome to the RKTV News Sports channel. With me, Demba Mohammed Kamara, serving as your presenter. Please don't forget to like, share and comment on our YouTube channel, RKTV, and on our website, www.rolandknews.com. In today's edition, we will be looking at the just concluded African Cup of Nations. What are some of the surprising things that happened? And we will also be looking at the magnificent performance of the referee, who is being considered as a no-VAR ref. And again, what will be the fate of Abubakar of Cameroon, now being age 30? With me in the studio, I have a colleague of mine from the same university, that which is University of Makeni, John Albert Ensa Masakoi.
Good day, viewers viewing our normal program, our normal sports TV show. I am John Alex Ensa Masakoi from the University of Makeni.
Welcome, John Albert Ensa Masakoi, who we normally call Professor Masakoi from the Mass Comm department. I'm glad to have you in the studio. Alright, John, I do believe you have watched this African Cup of Nations since the group stage. Now we have seen it has just been concluded. But again, there are certain things that happen in this particular Nations Cup which I think serve as a surprising thing to us. One of them, if I can say, is the likes of Algeria, who people consider to be the defending champions, go with 1 point and a 1 goal. What would be your take on that particular side of the story?
Actually, as regards Algeria, who has been the defending champions in this particular African Cup of Nations before and now, I think we do not get a lot of what we are expecting from Algeria being the champions of this particular competition. To be a champion really means a lot when it comes to the football world, when it comes to the football side. But I think Algeria coming into the African Cup of Nations, they didn't work to the expectations of their fans, they didn't work to the expectations of their citizens, and so we saw them going out, being kicked out of the African Cup of Nations, narrowly like that, going with a 1 goal and a 1 point, wherein, to my expectation, it was a draw between them and Sierra Leone, our darling Leone Stars, which gave Sierra Leone another turn into the African Cup of Nations. But really, to my own surprise and generally as expectations, we didn't get what we were expecting from the Algerian side.
John, we are now in the situation wherein the World Cup qualifying is around the corner. Now, we are seeing expectations from the fans, the coaches, and also the FA. Now, it's going to be Algeria against Cameroon, and considering the fact that Cameroon are on top of situation, that on their peak now, if they lose to Cameroon, they will not be qualified to the 2023 World Cup. Now, what will be your own take, considering the fact that now they have a poor performance in this Nations Cup? Now, what will be their own preparation to face Cameroon, who, the host side of Nations Cup, we are on top of situation in this particular tournament? Now they are going to face them in the qualifications for World Cup.
Demba, actually, as I was saying, sometimes only the strong will survive. In certain jungle, I think only the strong can survive, can push up the fight. Actually, if I'll take brief comparison between Cameroon, who made it to the semi-finals of this particular competition, and that of Algeria, who were kicked out of the group stage, I think we are talking of two different coins of the same year. Cameroon they started from the group stage, they made it to the semi-finals, they were kicked off by Egypt. It means a lot. But if you take the Algerian side here, they were within the group stage, in fact struggling. Even at the end of the day, seeing Leone Stars at least standing on top of situation on their heads, they couldn't make it. And if we take a look at Cameroon, they were really tough. it is because of a post penalty. That's why they were kicked out. And they also have galaxies of players here who we saw in the African Cup of Nations. They were on top of situation, the likes of Abubakar, likes of Itoko, Ikambi. All these players were on top of situation. But Algeria, we only think of Mahrez. And as I normally say, we do not talk about one individual when it comes to football. It's a collective responsibility. So if the Algerians as a team didn't give us what we are expecting, I'm sure they will not be able to cross over Cameroon.
Opening ceremony of this particular Nations Cup in one of the stadiums in Cameroon, we saw a stampede of fans wherein 8 people lost their lives in that particular game. But again, as time progresses, there is no sign of remorse from the FA in Cameroon, wherein at least for every games they should have shown that sign of remorse, sign of empathy, wherein if it is a 30-minute 30-second silence, or even a clap for them, or mourn for them, but nothing like that absolutely happened. So in that aspect, people were saying that this particular tournament, we saw things that happens which never supposed to happen. What's your take on that side, John?
Actually, I'll start with the preparations, Mr. Demba. If we look at the preparation first, think forwarding towards this particular tournament, I think I would say the preparations are not tough up to 100%. So like we are also talking about blacks here. The way white people perceive things is different from how blacks perceive things. Let's just take if it were white, I think it should have been something different. They should have reckoned, I think, a moment of silence, or take into consideration that people have lost their lives and we need to at least compensate the families. And actually, it's a big blow also to the citizenship of Cameroon, because if the FA fails to do that, I think we must have 1 or 2 people that are football loving fans that will think that these guys were here to support us, to reach our dreams, to have a peaceful, perfect competition. At least let's go back to their families and have what we call sympathy, if not having empathy for them. So it was a mistake directly coming from the Football Association.
Let me ask you this question now, for the mere fact that now people were giving their concerns have been all over the social media platforms, wherein people are asking, why should it be Gabaski of Egypt to be the goalkeeper of the tournament than Mendy? Now, considering the fact that Gabaski was introduced into that particular match in the quarterfinals, but again he was suffered by an hamstring injury, but again put up the sportsmanship, qualified to the finals, do some service, went to an extent wherein saved the penalty of Mane in the first 7 minutes of play, and again save penalties from the extra time. Now people were asking the FA intelligence, wherein why shouldn't be Gabaski the man of the goalkeeper of the tournament down to Mendy?
It's obvious that when sometimes you have 2 better heads having 2 better people, 2 good people coming together, we normally make use of the one. And if we have a direct comparison between Gabaski of Egypt and that of Mendy of Senegal, I think first of all we have areas that we should consider. To start with the age bracket here, I think Mendy of Senegal, who is presently the goalkeeper of Chelsea, who has been wonderful in the English Premier League, and that of Gabaski, a goalkeeper of Egypt, I think they are not of the same age. Mendy is more younger than that of Gabaski. And also motivations, here we can see Gabaski came in late in the African Cup of Nations. Yes, he gave us the best impression. Mendy also tried. Both of them went to the finals of this particular competition. We saw their output, but at the end of the day, we saw that Gabaski making a pivot and important save at the center of that particular finals between Senegal and that of Egypt, and considering the type of player that took that particular penalty, who was Sadio Mane, I think means a lot to Egyptians, means a lot in that particular match, and it means a lot to the Football Association in Cameroon, rating the two players. Talking about Mendy, he has made so many saves, he has won the Champions League, he's presently doing it in the English Premier League. But I think, if I'm to give my own perception, I think the FA has decided to give Mendy this particular award because of they thought it fit that he's young, they need to motivate him, and he has been doing it more preferably as compared to that of Gabaski. Gabaski only made a wonderful save on that particular day. But if we take analysis on their different matches that they have played, I'm sure Mendy has done it more than Gabaski. And also, it's not a mistake actually for giving Mendy the best goalkeeper of the tournament, rather leaving Gabaski, because Mendy is a young goalkeeper coming up. He has done so many things, I think, in the tournament, and he took Senegal to the finals. That of Gabaski too, taking Egypt to the finals. But the performances from the start of the league to that of the finals, we are different. It is not only the performances we saw on that particular match determined Mendy in winning the best goalkeeper in that tournament, but they compared from the first matches to that of the final. So like, people were only thinking because of the penalty that has been saved by Gabaski should make him to at least grab that particular award. No, it is based on merit, and I think Mendy merited that particular award that was given by the FA in Cameroon.
John, taking into consideration age limits, we all know what age can do in footballing. We have been seeing series of comments in the African players wherein when they show up their age, certain criticism comes up. For example, we have players from the Lion Stars, when their age was put into the table, series of comments came in. Now, taking into consideration Abubakar of Cameroon, he is age 30 now, and some may say he only have one African Cup of Nations left in him, and with that maybe he will supersede Eto's record in the African Cup of Nations with age 30, with one Nations Cup left with him. What will be your actual take in this particular decision about Abubakar's age in relations to the Nations Cup and in superseding Eto's record in the Nations Cup also?
30 years is not 30 days, as we are saying. The 30 years we are talking about has to do with an age that is concerned with an individual who is Abubakar in the pitch. And mind you, football has its own strategies and its own momentum. You cannot compare somebody, let's assume I'm John playing for Lion Stars, I'm 21 years, and comparing Kai Kamara, who is playing for Usum Stars, who is 35 years. No, we are not coins of the same. So if we are talking about Abubakar here and the years left, or having one tournament at hand, I'm sure we will not be expecting Abubakar to reach the peak that we are expecting, or will not be expecting Abubakar to do things that are greater than maybe Samuel Eto'o, because Abubakar being 30 years now, we are expecting at least to reckon this particular competition with something different. But he has just recorded 6 goals, I think, on top of Samuel Eto'o. But we are expecting a lot from Abubakar, considering the age. I'm sure Mr. Kamara will not be able to reach up to the expectations of football fans or spectators.
All right, John, that is a wonderful comment given for the age limit of Abubakar in his succeeding matches that will come ahead of him in the next tournament of Nations Cup. Now, that is one particular thing that is actually trending in social media, in every social media platforms. This thing called VAR. Now, taking into consideration artificial intelligence to that of human error. We have seen people labeling one Gambian ref to be the best referee, wherein VAR never intercepts or intercede between his decision. All the decisions he took on the pitch on that day, it was absolutely correct. Now, people may ask, or people may tend to give their own suggestion, wherein they say there is no need for VAR. If someone can live with the expectation of not giving an error compared to the artificial intelligence, wherein it was purposely created to clear all the doubts that have been happening in the pitch from the recent years. Now, human have propounded that there is no need for VAR. Now, it is a whole session of 90 minutes plus an added time. The referee was never consulted by VAR, and all the decision on the pitch on that day, we are absolutely correct. What would be your take in this particular decision between artificial intelligence, the VAR, and that of the human error? What would actually be your own contribution in this topic?
Mr. Kamal, first and foremost, I think the introduction of VAR means a lot in all the competitions, being the French League, the European League, and all. But I think the introduction of VAR is really important. Why? We are seeing humans who have been the central referees in all the matches we have been watching. Okay, but now I think the errors that they have been involving themselves in is too much. So they decided to bring in the VAR so that it will serve as an helping hand to bridge all the comments, to bridge all the gaps that have been taking place in different matches and in different competitions or leagues that we have been watching. The man that was the central man for the particular match, if I can recall, the semi-finals between Egypt and Cameroon, took up great and nice decisions. They were brilliant decisions to the extent we saw that the VAR is no longer necessarily important. Yes, because if a human can demystify or justify handling a whole game, comparing the two teams, Egypt and Cameroon, the host for that matter, moving with 120 minutes of play, full 90 minutes plus extra time without the interference of VAR, it means yes. And in fact, the particular central man is a black. To tell you, blacks are very, very intelligent, because there are a lot of mistakes coming from whites. Sometimes the interference of VAR gives the final decisions or make the final decisions, which sometimes does not suit the decisions of the fans, the spectators, and sometimes we see things that are not called for in certain matches that leads to maybe fighting, negative comments. Why he centered that particular match with all fairness, taking into consideration the 17 rules of soccer, okay, implementing them on both sides, that on the side of Egypt and on the side of Cameroon. There were no comments, and he was steady, he was firm, he was having the zeal that I know what I'm doing, nobody will take me off from what I'm doing, so let me just mind what I'm doing, let me concentrate on the match instead of concentrating on the VAR. And the VAR too really took up that yes, this man deserves to be somebody that we should give an accolade, because centering a game not only 90 minutes but 90 minutes plus, and taking into consideration the type of match it is, a semi-final of a great competition like that or tournament, means a lot. So that if you ask me my own opinion, and generally from the look of things, I think from now we don't need any VAR. Let's just work with our human intelligence to have a perfect
all right
match.
Like as I was saying, there are surprising things that happened in this particular AFCON tournament. We also saw where a female referee for the first time was given the responsibility, was given the chance, was given the opportunity to handle via a particular match in the Nations Cup. What will be your actual message, not only to CAF but to FIFA, as they are the football governing body, for things like this should continue?
Confederation of African Football should at least continue with this good work, should continue this trend. We are talking about 50-50. So if we are considering 50-50 as a priority in Sierra Leone, in African countries and in general context all over the world, we should continue with it in also the football sector. Therefore, it's not a mistake for CAF to introduce a female to be an official, not only being an official in these matches, but officiating a whole match on its own with no errors, no mistake. She was perfect, she was good, she knew what she was doing, and I think she gave us the best impression that we are expecting.
All right, John, as we are trying to round up this particular session, please don't forget to like, share and comment on our YouTube channel, RKTV, and on our website www.rolandknews.com. Now, John, taking into consideration the match between Senegal and to that of Egypt, now looking to the statistics on that particular day, you will find out that Senegal were on top of situation, perfect form, everything was perfect about them. One people may tend to scare about is the chances that Senegal have on that particular match. Maybe they are so scared wherein they may tend to lose that particular competition. Having a penalty, 2 minutes of play, and it was saved again by Gabaski on the 7 minutes of play. Now, the whole side of Cameroon, they are on top of situation, piling pressure on Egypt. There were no chances given by Egypt for them to counterfeit the part of Senegal. They were so good in every position they take. The side of Sheku Koyate was so exceptional on that day. The defender from Paris Saint-Germain also was so exceptional. The likes of Cisse, the left back, also was so exceptional. Talking about Mani, even though Mani managed to miss that particular penalty, but he composed himself again, piling so much pressure on the side of Egypt. What was your own take when it comes to statistics, the side of Senegal and that of Egypt?
I think briefly to take you into statistical consideration, there was total concentration on two key players. The side of Senegal, Mani. The side of Egypt, Salah. I think the Egyptians, ranging from the defense to that of the midfield, we are concentrating on Mani serving as the hero on the side of Senegal, and also the side of Senegal from the defensive to like the midfield, we are concentrating on Salah. But I think coming to the fact is the Senegalese side, we are on top of situation, as you said earlier. They took up everything in that particular match. They gave their best. The tic-tac combinations coming from the left back, the flanks, the midfield, and even the front, we are perfect. The side of Egypt, we only saw Salah and that of Mohamed Elneny, a player from Arsenal, I think was pushing up. But in total consideration of statistics in that particular match, Senegal took up 95% and the Egyptians 5%.
All right, yeah. John. Again, we all saw the changes that the Senegalese coach made on that day. Now, taking into consideration the side of Lion Stars, wherein the coach failed to do certain changes that we might have seen them still progressing in the just concluded Nations Cup. Now, the introduction of the pointed striker for Senegal gave them so many chances, even though Gabaski was at his own very best on
the peak.
On that very day of the finals. But again, pressure upon pressure coming in the side of Egypt. People we are saying Egypt, we are trying to maintain that particular match for it to end in a post-penalty shootout. They have trust in Gabaski for saves of penalty. But again, Mendy was not known for saving penalties. Even from the club where he comes from, Chelsea, he was not the man who was mainly to take penalties. Kepa Arrizabalaga was the master of penalties. But again, we saw Mendy doing a perfect save on that particular day, wherein Mani was all left alone to do the finishing. If Kepa Mendy shall not make that particular save, there is a chance for Salah to take over the penalty. But again, it's because of the composure of Mendy that led them for no chance for Salah to take a penalty in that particular spot, wherein the responsibility was left in the hands of Sadio Mane. And we saw the might, the strength Sadio Mane put in that particular penalty spot, wherein the first one, I think Salah asked Gabaski to fall on his right, and we also, what happened? When he fell on his right, Gabaski was able to save the penalty of Mane. And on the post penalty also, we saw Mane composing himself, put all his might. He knows that is the last penalty for them. If he misses, it's be a detriment on their side. If he scores, glory for them.
Yeah, actually, I would say we are expecting a lot coming for Mane. He gave up his expectations. He did his best. Yeah, the penalties, as I can say, post penalties and penalties in match awarded sometimes has nothing to do with an individual. It's the mindset, concentration, the first judgment. That is why Gabaski was able to first of all save the first penalty that was awarded to Senegal in the match within the first 2 minutes, ranging to the 7 minutes. Yes, but coming to post penalties, I think he was prepared, thinking that, oh, I've missed a penalty. If I do the same action, which is a repeated one, I will be blamed that I am the main man who has removed Senegal. So he went there in front of Gabaski, telling him this time around, no Salah, no Gabaski, it is going to be Sadio Mane. I'll put the fairness of God in you, and at the end of the day, I will end up making the Senegalese being proud of me and will raise up this cup. Okay. So like he was totally concentrating on what he's supposed to do, which is scoring the goal, putting the ball back of the net to raise the Senegalese to the higher height or the higher peak.
All right, viewers, that is it. This has been your favorite sports program, but again, as we are giving you synopsis of games that have happened, this is your favorite channel. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and also hit that icon bell for you to be notified for every videos we uploaded. Now, John, what would be your final word and your message to our viewers out there?
Actually, as I said last week, is that our viewers should continue to view our stuffs, because we are coming hard, and it's a program that has to deal with sports activities, sport discussions. We pray that we continue to give the best, and they continue to support us in our YouTube channel. They continue to subscribe, and we'll continue to give them the best that they deserve, the best that they need for different sporting discussions, sporting programs, and other different discussions in different areas. Thank you.
Thank you, John Albert Ensa Masakwe, for your presence in the studio. Until then, I've been your host, Demba Mohammed Kamara, till we see again in the next video. Thank you for watching.
This is the RKTV Sport News. Catch all form.